Welcome back to the Augustana Observer podcast. I am your host, Chris Ray, and this week I am joined by Nathan Wylie, a junior here at AUG. And Nathan is involved in the WAUG studio and the WAUG.FM, and he's also involved in band here at Augustana. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I've been a little under the weather recently, but from what I hear, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Like you said, I think it's the Augustana plague,
Yep.
lucky plague that's kind of getting everybody. But today we're going to chat with Nathan about WAUG and band here at Augustana, how those two things have kind of impacted his experience and kind of bring a sense of light to the WAUG, because I was just talking to Nathan about the radio station, and I had no idea that there were, it was daily content coming out on that platform. And you were saying that you just kind of put that out, like the daily themes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was it was something we talked about towards the end of last year, and then we were able to implement more at the beginning of this year.
I saw like Monday was like there's certain days that were dedicated to certain types of music and stuff. And
yeah, Monday is jazz. I forget what some of the other ones are. Friday is rap, Freestyle Friday.
And who was it? You and who else was involved in making that, kind of coming up with those ideas?
It was just something we did at our exec board meeting. It was myself, John Lee, Charlie Cathcart, Sylvia Harvin, Gabe Ziegler at the time when he was general manager. He graduated. Madeline Rodriguez, and I think those were the only people that we had there in person.
Yeah. So you're a junior, right?
Yep.
So have you been involved with, I guess, is it just WAUG? Is it a club, or is it
I think it is a club, actually.
Yeah.
Or like a student run thing. Something like that. Yeah, because our paid employees, we don't do it through the school. It's part of our SGA fund.
Sure. Yeah, I knew about this room right across from the Observer kind of thing. I just joined the Observer this year. I'm a senior. Nice. And I didn't know that it was all student run, like that entire, that radio. It's a radio station, right? Really, pretty much WAUG.
Yeah, it's more of a streaming station, not a broadcast station. Actually, it's kind of a funny story. Originally, they tried putting up like a broadcast, like a dish, so that you could pick it up like on an actual radio.
Yeah.
But that started interfering with emergency responders stuff.
In like Rock Island and stuff.
Island, yeah. And so we had like police and fire trucks showing up like right on the front door. They're like, "Hey, you guys gotta not do that."
That's actually kind of funny. Yeah, just like if you were talking to like a freshman who may be interested in the WAUG, like what kind of things would you want to share with those students who, like the opportunities that they have with WAUG and sharing their talents? What would you say to someone like that?
There's something for everyone here. I'm more of the musical side of it, but I'm also a little bit more into sound design, so I'm the audio engineer here. And I have a music-related show, but we have some people who are more on the communications side who will just do, like, they'll have a talk show, or maybe they are like, on another part of the exec board, like, we have people who do graphic design. We have all sorts of... One of our newest shows, some of our new members, they're running Dungeons and Dragons cool playthrough. So, whatever you like to do, whatever your talents are, there is some way that we can accommodate that, and you can do what you like. And
you can contribute to the WAUG.
Yeah.
Are there any... I know you mentioned a couple of those shows. Are there any that stand out that, the new ones, or, students who have other shows on the WAUG already right now?
Well, yeah, so the Dungeons & Dragons ones, that I'm really, really excited to hear that one. I have one that every Sunday, it's called the Spotlight Hour. I try to get it, like, music that was released within the month, or sometimes even within the last couple days. I'll usually get some. Sometimes I've had one world premiere so far, and a couple pre-release songs that I've been able to play. John does the nightcap. It's jazz. It's like 2.5 hours of jazz on Friday nights, just like smooth chill for your weekend. I'm trying to think what other, like, we have a couple new ones coming up. We have some political talk shows, like some music political stuff, which was actually really interesting to try and get set up for, to, like, you know, come up with like how do you respectfully and cautiously talk about some of these subjects.
Sure, yeah.
And we got that figured out pretty quick, actually. What else is there? There's we have a couple sportscasters now that people who are interested in that.
I think I saw Joe McCoy from last year. Right.
Yeah.
I saw it on an Instagram account or something about that. I was doing some research before I came in here.
Yeah.
And everything, but yeah, it's cool. The one that really stands out to me, you were saying you would look for music that's kind of new to that week and you play that over. I think that's awesome. Like, you just like find new music and you kind of put it all together and play it for the Augustana community.
New music, usually from like undiscovered artists too, is another one of the big. It's like multifaceted. Like new music, people you probably haven't heard of.
That was completely your idea to do something like that?
Yeah, when I got hired, Gabe, the general manager at the time, was like, "Hey, so congrats, you're the audio engineer." I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, "You got to do a show." I'm like, "Okay, give me like a few weeks. I'll figure something out."
So did Gabe have a show as well?
Yes,
when
his was rock, like more like metal themed.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if it was specifically women in metal, or if that was something that he did for like or if that was something that he did as part of some sort of like celebration month.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically that's what I remember from what he did.
Yeah, sure. So I guess we can talk about band as well and hit on those points. So you've been part of band here since freshman year?
Yep, I've been in the Augustana Symphonic Band since my freshman year.
You play trumpet?
I do. Yep.
How long have you been playing trumpet?
Like
4th grade, maybe?
Yeah, summer before 5th grade, so it's going to be like 11 years now.
Yeah. I played saxophone when I was right around the same time, and I stopped, I think, my 8th grade year. I didn't do it in high school. Kind of regret it a little bit, but I still have, like, the thing about like playing an instrument is you're always going to have that talent. I mean, it's like a muscle. You have to practice it, but
Definitely.
You're always going to have those memories, and kind of like you can just still pick it up, and it's always going to be there, kind of a thing.
For a lot of instruments, yeah, that's the case. And sometimes, I know older guys, like that my grandparents are friends with or whoever, like they haven't played a trumpet in like 20, 30 years, and then they found their old one and picked it up, and he was like, yeah, I can still blow on it, which is, it's cool.
I have a memory of my grandpa. He played trumpet, and he still had it. It was probably, 7 or 8 years ago, and he brought it down from the attic, and I don't remember if he actually played it, but I remember he was just looking at it. It was kind of around the time when I think I was still playing the saxophone at the time, but I think it's just music and playing an instrument is a really cool way of, creating memories, and it's like you're doing it with music, which is already, we could talk about music and just how impactful music is, and how it really, like, playing an instrument, being a part of a band, being a part of a choir, whatever it is, working with music, it's some type of vibey feel that it's hard to explain sometimes.
It really is. It does things to you, and music is effective in so many ways that, like, I can watch like these really sad movies or whatever, but it's the only times that I usually will cry at things is like these, like the big orchestral moments where it's just like punching you in the face with like all of this sound, and it's beautiful. Those are the moments that really, like, that I live for in any sort of musical setting.
I can definitely relate to that. I come from a pretty musical family as well. My dad he sings the national anthem for professional sport games sometimes.
Oh my God.
He's actually he sang for the Blackhawks. He's actually friends with. You're familiar with the Blackhawks? A little bit. Jim Cornelison is like their guy, kind of a thing.
Okay.
And he, my dad did opera with him.
Wow.
In I think it was Berlin they met, but they're friends. So.
Oh my gosh.
He sings at the Anthem. He's like the backup kind of a thing. There was a few years ago where, Jim's mother was sick, so my dad got called up. You gotta sing the anthem kind of
right.
thing. It's usually a flex I throw out.
That's
there
really cool though.
But he gets tickets and he'll I'll be able to go to a game every
right.
once in a while. It's Cubs, Bulls, Blackhawks.
Sweet.
But that's my dad. And he's a vocal professor, and my mom is.
Where does he work?
He works at University of Chicago, University of St. Francis is in Joliet.
Okay.
DePaul. They both my parents graduated from DePaul, but they're both musical, and my entire family has kind of come from a musical side of things.
Nice.
So I mean, music has always been kind of a thing that I resonate with, and whether or not I still do musical things, I stopped playing saxophone. I kind of did sports in high school. It always is something that you come back to, and it kind of it shapes you in a way.
It won't really ever leave you, at least not in my experience. And of course, same thing. I come from a pretty musical family. My mom played flute, clarinet, and saxophone. My dad was also a singer, and he was captain of the drum line and all that good stuff. So it's just been part of who I am, and as someone who's I've pursued it further academically, but even in those times where it was just something that I did, it was something that I was truly invested in, and it's just you get back what you put into it, so it just feels good.
It does. I mean, music is so versatile. I mean, there's so many different things that you don't even realize that it's affecting you. Like you were saying, music in movies, that's the only way that you're gonna cry.
Right.
Kind of thing. I've actually only cried one time during a movie. You want to guess what the movie was? You probably know. I guess it.
I don't.
It's a Pixar movie.
Oh, was it Toy Story 3?
Yes. How did you get that?
Because I did the same thing.
You cried? I cried in theaters. I forgot what year it was. I don't even know. I was in theaters with my mom and my dad. I just remember sitting there, bawling. You probably won't guess what point in the movie I cried. Most people don't get it.
Is it the scene where they're in the trash thing?
Yes.
Where they're all yeah.
Dude, when I talk to people, usually they say it's when the toys are saying goodbye to Andy, and Andy's giving them to Bonnie, and
right.
That's usually what people say. Oh, you cried during that part. No, I cried when they're about to burn in the incinerator. They're all holding hands, and it's super. The music's dun dun. Then it just gets you emotional and stuff. But yeah.
Those are those tropes that get me close. It's when it's the whole friendship thing where it's you take care of my friends kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those are the and you pair that with music, it just becomes it's such a special moment. I couldn't imagine watching a movie without music. Could you imagine Star Wars without the music?
No, the score is part of what makes it so cool. I mean,
right.
And when you think about Star Wars, you think about the Imperial March and stuff like that. And
it's iconic.
It's iconic, right? I mean, without the music, you'd be missing out on an element. And I feel like music, like what I said, it brings a certain element to things and it amplifies it. And I feel going back to playing band, being a part of that group. Mm-hmm. It almost amplifies your experience here at Augie. Could you say that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the ASB is definitely. I would say that we are a family. Sometimes rather dysfunctional. However, we're still a family, and we build each other up, and that's because you don't get anywhere in music by saying, oh, this sucked, or you're bad at this. That's not how you. That's not how you make friends, and that's not how you run a productive rehearsal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's very cool. If you were to say, like one thing, not even one thing, just something that you've learned from band throughout your entire, trumpet career, right? Something like non-music related, but it's taught you something about yourself, your life, or just how life goes. Like, what has band, meant to you, and what has it really taught you about how to live your life, type of thing? If you really could.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big question, but
the life skills that I've learned from my ensembles and from my directors have served me in a way that I didn't expect. A lot of it's on the professional front more than anything else. Like, being on time, being prepared, having everything you need, like just those things. Because it's not something that you would normally think about, but like, if rehearsal starts at 4:30, you're in the room no later than 4:20 warming up, so that when it comes to 4:30 and we're tuning, you're ready to go and we can have a productive rehearsal, and we're not worried about like, oh, everyone's instruments are differently tuned or out of tune just because they didn't warm up, they got in late or whatever.
Yeah. So I talked to Nick. You guys just had a concert a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to promote any of the concerts that are upcoming or
the
rest of the year?
So the big one, next ASB concert is already in 2 weeks. Saturday the 13th, I think, is what that is. That'll be at probably 7:00 like it usually is.
And what kind of music is that?
This is gonna be it's a little bit different than usual. We have one rather standard piece that's just kind of like easy listening, kind of fun to hear. We have another one that's really rhythmically intense, but it's not one that like you have to. The audience doesn't have to keep up. We have to keep up, more or less. And then the other two, we're doing Percy Granger, so we're just doing like some fun kind of like pastoral stuff, and then we have a march style. So it'll be a little bit different than the normal ASB repertoire, but it's shaping up to be a pretty good concert. So
that one's on the 13th, you said? And
yep. Tonight, I don't know when this is gonna air out. Tonight.
It probably will go out next Sunday.
Oh, all right.
The upcoming Sunday. So
yeah. Well, yeah. Today, as this is recorded on Friday, is or not Friday. Holy crap! This is not Friday.
Wednesday.
This is Wednesday.
Yeah, I get my days up.
Oh my
so
god.
much too.
Crap! It's not Friday. There's a jazz combo concert going on, so that'll be. I really hope I can get to that. See my friends in there.
Cool. But yeah, we've been talking with Nathan today, and if you want to tune in next week, we'll be talking with somebody else. I'll figure out who we're talking with. But thank you, Nathan, for talking
Thanks
this
for
week.
having me.
And we talked about band. We've talked about Toy Story. We've talked about the WAUG studio. Make sure you check out the WAUG. It's WAUG.fm, right?
Yep. WAUG.fm.
.fm. You tune in there. Like you said, it's a streaming service, so it's not broadcast. It's just like any old Spotify. You tune in. Just go
to whatever browser you use, like you would type in a website, and just WAUG.fm, and that's all you got to do.
But other than that, this will do it for today's episode. I thank you, Nathan, for your time. We're gonna let him go to the band practice, get his tuning in. But from the Augustana Observer, we thank you for listening this week, and I will see you on the next episode.